wing my wet, my wing my wet, my wing my wet, my wing my ignore what you just saw there. Hey guys, AirsoftAl here, and today is another episode of Lore. I've been getting a shit ton of emails from you guys asking me, hey Al, what did you mean in your post on the Facebook thing about ideology of the different factions? Well, let me go ahead and just break it down a little more. The obvious one, Jesus freaks, that one's an obvious one, the religious nuts, what have you, but what about the others? And before I go into it, why don't I go ahead and define the definition of ideology from my little dictionary here. And thankfully enough, I kept my finger on the actual definition. Ideology. One, these are three things. Existing an idea or as a perfect pattern, visionary or unreal, pertaining to ideas or idealism. A pattern, standard or ideal, hence a plan or intention, a mental image or picture, a notion upon opinion or impression. That, my friend, is ideology. In a basic sense, damn it, I threw my dictionary down. Now, what about this? And I left my TV on. Where's that damn remote? Mute! Okay. TV's mute. Well, let me just go ahead and break it down to this. When Y2K happened, there was the first... Japan, when it became the Otaku Nation, had this ideology of we need to prevent this sort of chaos again. As such, they basically formed an ideal, not just an ideal society, of which, and you can agree with me with this or not, I mean, I know a lot of people will agree with me on this. I'm trying to think. If I can get my mind wrapped around it, because I got a TV going in the background, and I'm just trying to wrap my head, because I had it earlier, now it's not wanting to come out. Okay, there we go. Basically, they are more along the lines of humanity. Advancing humanity in a way that basically says, okay, we need to not let this shit happen again. Their ideology is human advancement, and mental, physical, and acceptance, basically, in a sense. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to be pacifist. By far meaning of the definition, they are in fact people who will defend themselves and have a military. I mean, come on, you'd be an idiot to not have a military to defend yourselves from other people who will attack you. Now, what about the coalition? Oh boy! The coalition is, in a basic sense, what America should be. They make their own shit. They don't take shit from no one. And they're pretty good. Now, I don't have to explain the United Gamer Kingdom because they're British, okay? They're British. Get used to it. And as for the PC Empire, I might as well go ahead and get this out of the way now. Okay. Now that I got that out of the way, and that was a pretty big elephant in the room, I might as well go ahead and continue on. Now, what about Bill Gates that basically said, okay, I need to take over Canada? Well, this is where it kind of gets a little bit new. Bill Gates, as we all know, is the greediest motherfucker possibly alive outside of Steve Jobs. But basically what he did was he took his ideals and basically made an empire on PC only. Basically turning himself into a Hitler of PC. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but come on, that's kind of an idea. That's kind of... yeah, it's going to happen. It really is going to happen. Sorry, I was off my own little world there for a second. But aside from that, though, So, what happened? Well, Bill Gates basically got a little power hungry. And his ideology, in a sense, caused that to happen. Well, not really causing it to happen, but basically, war and what have you. Well, there's a video for that, so, I mean, there's a thing for that, and there's going to be a video about the PC console war and every other thing, yada, timey-wimey thing. No. As I was about to say. Now, this is where it gets a little bit better. You see, when the war was over, Bill Gates is imprisoned, and Canada split in half. The Eastern Canadian ECOF, the Eastern Canadian Otaku Federation, basically is like the Otaku Nation, but they actually vote in prime ministers. And as such, they are a part of the Otaku Nation, but they're not a part of it. Get what I'm saying? And in a basic sense, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, because with Europe split in half, the southern half being Otaku and the northern half being Console Coalition, it's where it gets a little bit more timey-wimey, even more. And anyone who can figure out where I'm getting that word from, comment in the comment section down below. Now, basically, the United Gamer Kingdom has a stranglehold on their newly found empire. And yes, India is indeed a part of that empire. No, there will not be a repeat of what happened. They actually learned from the past, and India is kind of just like, you know, we're cool, we're equal, what have you. Now, what about Russia? Russia is dead, people! Ever since Y2K happened, basically, Russia's nukes went off in the silos. Russia is now nothing but one big-ass Chernobyl. Okay, good, done, what have you. Now, am I missing anything else? No, not really. Thank you guys for watching. I've been AirsoftAl, and the next lore video we'll talk about, and this is actually something I've had a lot of people ask me about, are YouTube celebrities now celebrities? We'll find out in the next video. See you next time.